Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for MasterMade. We have the Destruction Scorpion, or also known as Scorpidog. Now this particular figure series I've been looking into getting, and yeah, I can't wait for the next one they'll make. I already have the first three, which is the Titan Apollo, Diabolus Rex, or Metroplex, Omega Supreme, and Trypticon. And now we have this. Quite amazing. Now also, this is going to be a blind review, meaning I know little or not at all about what I'm reviewing, or the character I'm reviewing, but other than the figure looks amazing, and I'm not really into Transformers that much. I only have a few in my collection, but definitely this is something that I want to add. And here we go. Awesome box art. And also I got mine from Supreme Collector. I'll provide the link down below. And yeah, this is a really big box. As much as I want to, move this around, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be a little tough for me. It's just one of those big boxes. Also, I just want to add that this box is kind of made of that cardstock. It's thin. Then you have the clamshell plastic inside to protect your figure. That has a lot of flex on it. It protects the figure well, but with that flex, the edges of the box could get creased up really quick. So you'll see this. Well, actually, my box is really bad. Yeah, so much for that. But for me, I just want the figure, and I'm happy the figure. There's no defects on it. I've already checked it out to get this out in and out of the box a few times already, and here we go. Alright, so here we go inside. It's a windowed box. This is the front part. Then we get a little bit of a preview of what to expect. We have a destruction mode, which is the robot mode, scorpion mode, and the maze mode. So it's a triple changer. Quite nice, and even comes with a little guy. But I think that is the face. Yeah, it's a head, which is a bit interesting. So yeah. And I just want to show the back. So the back has that little guy, and I guess they call that the headmaster kind of thing, where you have the little guy controlling the whole body of some sort. I'm not too familiar with it. Cool concept. Reminds me of Gurren Lagann, to a certain extent. But yeah, quite interesting. Right, so here's the instruction, and what surprises me is they're able to fit everything in one page. Yeah. Quite cool. So here's the instructions, all that good stuff. Yep. And here also tells us the batteries are not included, but it's needed. It's the CR2032 3-volt battery. Yep. And that goes on to the chest area. Alright, so where to start? Yeah, there's a lot to go over. I'm probably just gonna put stuff on him as if you were just getting it out of the box, and start with the robot mode. Then I'll transform into a scorpion and the base. Hopefully that'll work out. So first off, you got the big guy right there. He is huge. Now let me grab my ruler here. I'm gonna measure him and let's see how tall he is. So he's about 10¼ inch up to this part here, around there, or maybe even 10½. Yep, quite big. Not to mention you have all these accessories to attach him on. So let's go with the spider things here, or a scorpion hybrid thing. Actually, they are more of a scorpion, so, as opposed to a spider. But yeah, quite interesting design. They even have details here, the decals. And two legs are connected to one joint. It's a ball joint. Same thing here. Quite cool. And this is actually a gun, but it attaches there. And I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna turn this around and go like this. And this will go on to his arm here. So he starts out with 3 fingers, but you can combine this. There's the peg right here. And actually, you gotta do a little bit more configuration. I'm gonna move this out of the way and put this on here. Let's see if it's gonna work. There we go. All right. And now you have the complete hand with 4 fingers and a thumb. And that's a really cool gimmick. I will do the same thing here. So just turn this around. There we go. And you can bend those. And I like how you can just put it on quite easily. So yeah, you get that right there. Now also you have this little cannons here, which we're just gonna put on the shoulder as instructed. But you can definitely put it elsewhere. I think they're using the same. This is probably 5mm diameter. Not quite your 3mm typically, but it's a little bit bigger. On the back side, we'll do the same here. And we got one more. There we go. Alright. Now, there's this, his actual giant legs, which I'll put in later. I think it's probably best to just kind of go over his articulation and his little gimmicks here and there before getting to that part. Alright, so let's start with the head here. Now, I think some of them do have the light piping. This one does have it. So if you just look here, you get the clear parts on top here. And that's definitely what we can use to shine light on it. Yeah, there's no LED on the head side because we have the little guy in there. So if you can just shine a light on the top here, if you can get that right balance somewhere. Okay, that lamp does not work or for this, so I'm just gonna use a bright flashlight here, and you can kind of see it right there. Yep. Why is my... It's flickering. I think it's my camera. But yeah, it's a cool light piping, although it could be a little bit better. So that's that. Now for the LED gimmick, we're gonna grab it from the chest here. There we go. And that's where we can put in the battery. Now I don't have the battery, the CR2032. I have the 16, which is a little thinner. It's the same 3-volt battery. Now to put this on, there is 2 pros. One is a positive, the other one's like negative. Yep. So the positive goes here, the bottom one. So we're just gonna slip it in and push in. There we go. The switch is right here in the bottom. Get that nice LED. So again, you can use either one. I actually kind of like the 2016, which is a little thinner. It gives you a bit more room. And I'm just gonna attach it here. It's like you gotta put it in the right way. It's a little tricky. There we go. Got it. And you got that nice red LED. Quite nice. Alright, so that's the LED gimmick. Moving on, you have the neck here. Now the neck is resting on a ball joint. We're gonna probably pop this out later on, but just I want to show it now. So it has this a bit interesting socket. It's just like 3, but it's able to hold that giant ball joint here on the neck. So that's that. Quite interesting design. Now it makes me think that you can open this thing or move this down, but you can't. And this is actually the head of the scorpion for later on. So we're just gonna pop this back now. There we go. Now for the shoulder here and the arm, there is a bit of a swivel here. You get those tight joints, then you get the ratcheting, which is quite nice. Move this around. There we go. Love that sound. Yeah, it's like a spring or like a little click. Not so much for this kind of sound, but this one. Hear that? Yeah. And you get a bit more, a bit of flex here, but unfortunately there's a lot of cable here. So there, yeah. Can't really move it as much in terms of the. You can even rotate it there. Okay, maybe we can just do this. There we go. So you get a bit of an elbow. We will call it an elbow. Then you get your bicep swivel. So definitely, we're getting a lot of articulation for that, and the nice ratchets and everything works out quite nice. You get some kind of like a piston here. There are on a ball joint right there, and we kind of talk about the spider thing here, or scorpion, the little scorpions. Got those individual fingers. It seems like you have like a giant cannon there. It's part of his hand. Really cool. So that's that. Let me just put this back here. So it's nice that they provided the wrist and bicep swivel. And again, this is one of those that surprises me for an SD figure. He has the articulation. Alright. So moving on, we don't like, yeah, we do. We have the waist articulation actually. It's a swivel, which can rotate him probably 360 if we want to. Although this backside here might hit somewhere, but you can always pop that out. Yep. Yeah, there's not much on this. This is kind of like part of for later on the transformation. So we'll get to that when we get there. And what else? Did I mention about this? Yeah. Even the thumb. Got that nice articulation, and you get that swivel as well. Alright, getting back to here. The waist. You can move this. Interestingly, this doesn't have a ratchet joint. Yeah, even this one doesn't have it. Well, something tells me that they've designed it that you will just have this standing up. So yeah, that's probably why there's no ratchet there, but it'll be nice if there's some. And you can kind of rock it a little bit for wide stance, which is good to have. Then for the knee, same thing. I don't hear any ratcheting, but you can definitely do a bit of a knee bend right there. Let's fold this in. You know, there's a lot of ways, especially the bottom one. This is where die cast is. You can feel it cold. So there we go. Nice details. And you can even shift the knee armor there, which I like. Really cool. And there we go. Let's kind of move this back here. Then you get your ankle joint, which you have a tilt here, which is great for wide stance. There we go. And you can move this down and oh, a little squeaky. Yeah, definitely, but you have good joints there. It's just really stiff right now, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. Yeah, you want those ankle joints to be stiff. You don't want him to be doing some splits. Let's see what else. Yeah, this one is fixed. There seems to be kind of like a wing there, maybe for later. Yeah. You can even detach that. Interesting. Yeah. Again, nice details. Nice and heavy. Alright, so that's it. Then if we want to attach this, we're gonna go, let's see here. I think this part here is on the top. We're just gonna slide it here, gonna wiggle it. There we go. Same thing on this other side here. Now here comes the fun part. This crazy tail. Now this is segmented, which is really cool. Then you can even pop the top ones here. Like a fin. Great. And even they're all individual decals. You got this kind of pincher here. It's a swivel that you can open it, but you know, nonetheless, it's great. You get some clear parts there as well. Now, to put this on is a bit problematic when I did it the first time. Yeah, I was pushing this in because this connection here. Yeah, so there's a little hole on the back end here which goes to this part. Then you have this giant part that goes around here. Now I was trying to force it in and it won't go. There's just something wrong. It turns out there is some excess plastic on the bigger diameter here that goes around here. And I would recommend to just kind of scrape off. I just use my hobby knife, kind of scrape off that sides. I thought it was stuck with this part here, the smaller hole, but that's not the case. It was out here. So just do a little bit of trimming and you're able to put this thing on. There we go. Gonna lock that in place underneath, and I'm just gonna shift this whole thing. Oh, you could even move this little guys here too. There we go. Kind of looks like it's leaning back. Yeah, the back, it's a bit heavy. There we go. He is very menacing. Really cool. I should really bring out the other ones I have, but unfortunately are in storage. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of a comparison with the figures I have near me. I got an SD Gundam here. Just look how small that guy is. And some of you probably have a, well, unless you're just collecting Transformers. But here's a Figure Arts Goku. What else do I have here near me? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think my other figures will make sense as a comparison. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. But this guy is really tall. Again, almost 10.5. And with that thing, the tail sticking up like that, that's probably a good foot tall figure. So, quite nice. Alright, so for the next part, I would recommend to get that head off there. Otherwise, you're gonna try to manage everything. Yeah, just a lot of figure in here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop this off. There we go. Get the headpiece here. Now there is an option if you want to. You can pry off that visor. Yeah. And otherwise, we're just gonna leave it there. And to remove the little guy inside, you're just gonna pop this off. There we go. So it pops up. Now keep in mind how things are connected here, because later on, as like you slide this in, there's like the hip joint of the little guy going in there, as well as the chest part. Yeah, so have an idea what it looks like. Like this part here kind of sticks out there. The hands, the feet are inside, and as you close that in, and even then you get a little bit of play. So have a mental picture what it should look like. Anyways, let's get back to it. Pop that out. Take this little guy out, and you can just close that in, put it aside. Now for this little guy, it'll look like this. Yep. Kind of weird. Basically, we're just gonna move the legs down, it's gonna be facing that way. So just move that down, switch this around. Then you got this front part of the legs. You're just gonna point that up. There we go. And it does have knee articulation, which is cool. And you have some ankle here. Then you got the hands here. Now, if you try to move this down this way, it's gonna rub off against the cheek of the big guy's face right there. So I suggest to do it the other way around. So, gonna open it up and fold it backwards. And there we go. You got this really cool guy here. Okay. He has a little bit of light piping there too. He doesn't have any accessories other than himself. He has some elbow articulation right there. I guess you could even bend it the other way around. Yep. So, cute little guy. Alright. And get the head. So we're gonna just set him aside here. Somewhere in here. And let's get back to this guy. Alright, so we're gonna do the transformation. I briefly did it one time, just to have a feeling where things goes. It's always good to do that before. I think for the most part I got it. It's actually not too bad. It's a simple transformation. The problem is when you're holding a huge figure and you're trying to move things around with really rigid joints. That's where the problem is. But we'll give it a try. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna move the arms up. And along with that, I will move the turrets here, or the Vulcans, downward. There we go. And just move this up like this. And it'll become the pincers. So much for the joints. Alright. So I got him up here. Now comes the fun part. We're literally spinning it, or yeah, we gotta go this way. Just gotta make sure that clears it off. Yeah, it's a little odd. And now we're gonna turn this part as well. Like there's a hip area here. So this bottom moves, this top one also, but we're gonna keep this part here. Yeah, let's see if I can get this. Well, I think part of that too is we gotta pop this out. This is the tail. There we go. It's gonna go down here, and we're gonna move this top part around. To do that, let's see here. I'm gonna slide this out a little bit high. There we go, and this will clear this tail here, hopefully. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that. So the tail stayed this time, because before we turned the whole thing around with the tail. So let's see if this works. There we go. Looks like a tab there or something. Alright. So technically we could have just moved this little waist area here, but I think it's a lot easier if we just did I just did. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna put this back the way it is for now. Yeah, there we go. This becomes the legs on the lower part, which will be there. Now the next part is the toughest one, I believe. It's folding the legs, and to do that I actually found more articulation here as well too. There's another joint here, there's a knee joint, and among other things. Yeah, fun stuff. Probably the best way is I would suggest to remove the legs for now, if I can remove them. There we go. That way there's just less things to worry about when we're moving things. Alright. And we got this tail here too. as much as I want to keep everything, it's just a lot easier. Alright, so we're just gonna leave it there. Alright, so let's start moving this, and there's gonna be a lot of squealing in terms of the joint. Not me, but alright, so we're gonna bend this knee area first. Same thing on this side here. There we go. So bend the hip, bend the knee. Then this part here actually goes in, and for it to do that, you make sure you bend the knee. Otherwise, there's some other parts there. So we're gonna go ahead and push that in. See the calves going in. There we go. And that will stick out. And there's gonna be some nubs there from production, but we'll leave it that. So this goes in. Just gonna have to force it in. There we go. Yeah. And you have this ankle. Right. In instructions says this is supposed to line up, but you got this little section here on the side of the foot that's preventing it to connect together. So as close as you can. So it's like this. It's like folding your knees and getting your feet close to your butt when you're lying down. So that's the position you're going for. Next part is you will see these two pegs on both sides, and this is where you connect this. This is a lot easier without the tail. So again, if you can, remove the tail. Just makes it a lot easier to peg this in. There we go. Alright. I mean, still got this wings. Maybe we'll put it on the side later on. Alright, so that's that. I think we're all lined up. Before we put the tail in, we're gonna put this back. So here we go. Put this back here. I think I got it from this side. Hopefully. No, that's not it. It goes this way. Yep. The feet is, yeah. Well, that works. Now what we're gonna do is open this up, and we're gonna lay this to this side here. Now there is a peg here. There's also another peg here, which I'm not sure where it pegs to. But we're just gonna line this up. The instruction's a little off. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm just looking here. I see two screws here, but there's none on the other one. Am I missing some screws? Interesting design. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna peg it to the outermost, because there's two of them, and it only pegs to one. It's a little different on the bottom side, so that seems to work. And I'm gonna go ahead and open the legs, each one. Now some of them are tight joints. Some of this ball joint actually a bit loose. I had to put some floor polish on it to kind of give it a little tighter. Now I'm, as much as I can, because it's a ball joint here, and you also get a hinge. So if you can, open it as wide as possible, because once you lay this flat, you don't want the weight to be on these things. Yeah, that's a bit of, oops, a lot of weight. Alright, so get the other side, push this on, and I can already see. Which is fine, it's big plastic joints. Alright, so slide this in here. There we go. Open this up and connect it to that leg or foot. So in a way, things get interlocked, which is a good thing. That's as far as it will go. Open this up. And there it goes. I think this might have been it. Anyways, yeah, get it as far. Again, you might want to bend the hinge here, if you can. You should bend more. There we go. anyways, I got it to that part. So basically the legs and the foot becomes the, is it thorax, the body of the, yep. It's kind of cool too, in a way. Alright, so that's that. Oops. And we're just gonna push this down here. Get this thing farther apart. No, we got the pincers. And we're gonna rotate this, and the light piping area there is the eyes. Yep. I think we're almost there. So that's that. Then we're just gonna reattach the tail right here. Be careful on this tail. I'm actually, the sharp points, this one I'm starting to, yeah, it's not as sharp as it is anymore. Getting them hitting something. All right, so I'm gonna lay it flat. All right, I think I got it. Yeah, again, it's not as bad as you may think of transformation. It's fairly simple. The hard part is trying to get that knee to bend and getting just everything together. But there we go. It's actually quite cool. In this form, it does look like a scorpion. Yeah, you got the body here, and you got the legs, you got the pincers, you get the nice head here, as well as your stinger. Alright, and you got the little guys here, which I kind of showed. This little gun here turns into this, the stingers. And we're just gonna put it aside here, get another one. There we go. It's like the drones or the little minions. And of course you got the little guy here. Just gonna set him here. You can probably have him see if we can have him sit down here somewhere. And there you go. Now the last part is the base. Alright, so for the base, the concept is cool, but there's not much into it. Alright, so to do that, I might as well get that over with. We'll remove the little spiders here. Alright, so for that, how's that go again? We basically have to detach the legs here from the tail. We're going to swing this forward. We're going to have the scorpion's legs and move it out. So it's kind of like a reactor, you know, this kind of stuff like that. Alright, and this is going to go up. We're going to remove the turrets here on the front. We're going to swap that out with the stingers of those little guys. We can probably put this somewhere else. So let's remove that. This part here, it's going to be fun. We're going to be detaching. Actually, you know what? Let's detach this front part first. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm trying to hold everything. It's there we go. Come on. Jeez. Alright, so this part here is just gonna slide in front. So there's a lot of sliding on that joint there. Not too fond of that. So let's get that front. There we go. Oops. Get this thing spin around. Now this part here, there's a swivel point. Yeah, it's on a C-clip. So as you move this forward, you're gonna wanna move this around and just gonna pop it in. There we go. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. It does pop off. Alright. Let's see if I can still manage this. Let's put this back on this way. Alright, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, we're just gonna have this laying out here. It's an interesting concept. Alright, so next part, you kind of see this leg here. We gotta rest it on the ground, level it with the front part. And we still have to detach this leg here. There we go. Another one. Whoops, there goes the tail. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'm just gonna bend this, fold it. There we go. Just be careful of the sharp points on the tail as you move things around. I'm gonna twist this down a little bit and just, you know, get the ankle. Now, here's the thing though. You cannot push this back in, this whole ankle joint, if the knees are bent already. So keep that in mind later on as you transform it back to the robot, which I probably will. So get that in a little bit. There we go. Jeez. All right. I guess more or less that kind of works, right? That's okay. We're not gonna stay in this mode anyways. But so you just kind of line up all these things here. Even the hip is misaligned. There we go. Straighten up all the tail going up, like so. Then, for some weird reason, that they want us to put one of the spiders there. We're just gonna do this. Get that peg this here, pointing up. Like an evil fortress. And we're gonna grab one of these and we're just gonna peg that in here. Yep. And the swivel joint is not helping. Alright. Then the other one. Yeah, the base, it does look menacing. It's kind of like a drone and whatnot. You know, you got all these things here going up. It's a nifty concept. Although I think the Scorpion mode, or the Beast mode, as well as the Robot mode, that's the highlight of this figure. And we got that extra one, so we can attach it somewhere else that has that same peg. And where can we put the other ones? Well, I guess you can get the little guy and put it in the middle there somewhere. There we go. Nope, it's, well, I'm just gonna put it in front. There we go. Yeah, quite interesting. You know, you get that like a fortress. I guess after a while you looked at it, it does look cool. It does look cool to have this kind of fortress thing. But I mean, if I still think the highlight is probably the robot mode. And I think that's pretty much it for this review. Overall, I'm really happy for this release. It's the robot mode is just very menacing. You got that lime green and purple. Then it turns into a scorpion, and as well as the other articulation and gimmicks. It works out. It's quite nice. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the review. Hope you guys like it. Again, I got mine from Supreme Collectors. It's actually a special order. I don't think it's in their web on his web store, but you can always send him a message if you are looking to get one of these. Yep, and that's about it. Actually, I was just looking at that spider. There's a hinge there. Huh? You can move this up. I'm not quite sure what's that for, but there's always something new. Yeah, there's just a lot of things that you can do with this guy. And even interact with the other MasterMade or this particular figures. Anyways, I think that's enough rambling. So until then, this is Beads. Thanks for watching. Actually, it makes a great throne. I have the Sentinel Geiking, I think. Yeah. You know what? It actually makes a great throne. You know, in this. Yeah. And for those who are curious, that's the Sentinel Geiking. Yeah, that could work. Sure.